Good day, everybody. It's Max, and welcome back to InfraSpace, the Cube. That's right. And in today's episode, more cubes. You betcha. We are now after the live stream, and we have 3 cubes up and running. I think it's time to double that number. So with that, I think we'll get cubes 4, 5, and 6 on the board, and get some extra construction done, get a little bit more factories up and running, and get ready to prep everything up to get a little bit more population, say around 15,000 and change. Let's get to it. So we're back into it again, you betcha. And in this case, after the live stream, we now have 3 cubes and some space parts. You know it. So let's have a look at the spaceship. It's currently working on the passenger deck, and I should actually go check that here shortly. We'll actually go look at the factories to make sure that it's doing something with the passenger deck. But as you can see, we've got the bridge, communications array, computer deck. The bridge, of course, gives us a 5% immigration boost. The communications array gives us 20% random technology, which in this case is the drill. I've gotten that 20% boost on that. Here, of course, we also got random technology. It also gave me another 20% to the drill, so now I've gotten 40% of that research done without doing anything. The hull, of course, gives you 5% immigration boost, which we like that very much. And this gives me a free 200 people that now want to come live in the colony as soon as I get some room for them, because I have no room for them at the moment. So right now we are working on passenger deck, of course, home appliances and stuff, and we're going to take a quick look up there. As you can see, we've got the 3 cubes totaling 8,030, and if we look behind us, oh yeah, look at that. More cubes on the way. So we're going to look at that there shortly, because obviously we're going to be doing some more cubes this episode. And down here is the ship factories, all working very hard. And that's why they're not doing anything, because I disconnected the steel output. So we'll just click that there, and we'll connect this highway back up. Come on back over, guys. Hey, guess what? I should see trucks driving out of here like crazy. There we go. Look at that. That's right. I want to see all the trucks driving out with all the steel mills now powering back up. There we go. I am going to have to hook these guys back up to storage, though, soon. Because, hey, we don't want to run out. Steel and concrete's starting to get a little low. And you're thinking like, well, you got 31,000 concrete and 55,000 steel. It runs out. It definitely runs out. In fact, since I'm not using concrete at the moment, I should take this factory and hook it back onto this road. And of course, it's going to be cranky about that because it hates that. So let's move this out just a little bit. And come on, game. Keep up. There we go. Game crashed during the live stream, of course, for anybody that was there on the live stream or hasn't seen the live stream yet. So that was a little bit scary. Didn't like that too much. Luckily, we only lost about 10 minutes. Let's hope for better sunny, better skies ahead. That's for sure. So as you can see here, we're loading up on steel and things. Hopefully, these guys are gonna get make me stuff. That's right, make me things. I want you making me things, so you do that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna get to work. These guys are gonna keep working away as I get technology or things happen. Obviously, I'm gonna get some stuff ready for at least I'd like to get 2 or maybe 3 cubes done. So to get 3 cubes done. As you can see, I've gotten 2 more. I have 2 more computer and home appliance factories made, which I'm hoping to stick a 3rd one here, so I can get so we can get 3 of them in. Of course, to get 3 down, I need at least 3 more robot factories. So I've started sketching out for the next one here. I got to go around this hill, so I'll have to deal with that. And of course, I'm going to need 3 VR education centers, right? Because you need VR education for all this stuff. So of course, a 4th one would go up here, no problem, which would handle the 4th one in this row. And then where am I going to go? Do I start down on the other end? maybe. Well, guess what? I guess we're going to find out today. So let me get started. I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, so a little bit of an update on the Spaceship Research. I magically got lightning rails. Yay me. Considering I haven't had science running in forever, I magically got lightning rails for nothing. So I'm assuming I got lightning rails. Yes, I got lightning rails because I got orbital scanners. With this module online, you unlock one random technology. Really? You gave me lightning rails? Okay, whatever. So, as you can see, the list is getting pretty short. We've also gone through and done the storage decks and the others. And this leaves the telescope and the methane requirements. So, of course, these require methane for FTL. And the telescope requires me to get a little science up and running, which I will have to do next time. Have you ever been working away and then just suddenly run out of jobs? Yep, that's a thing that happens. Obviously, I'm very busy building factories all over the place. And suddenly it was like, you haven't got enough oxygen. And I'm like, what? What do you mean I don't got enough oxygen? Well, we're going to actually talk about that for a little bit in a little while when we do the rest of the cubes here. But that made me have a look around. I realized, oh, wait a minute, I'm short a couple of hundred jobs all of a sudden. So I had to stop making factories, and we're going to bring up Cube 4 now. We're going to do Cube 5 and 6 this episode as well, but I have to bring up Cube 4 now because I need the jobs. I'm busy making factories, man. I'm busy making factories. So you can see here we got all the piping in for the oxygen and the water. So we're good to go there. And we are running the game full speed. So I hope that nuclear power down there doesn't run out. So with that, I am going to start putting in the housing for this, and of course start bringing this cube online. I just realized I haven't put in any of the farms and stuff like that. Okay, but at least now you know what I'm doing, right? I'm going to start putting in. I'll put the simple farms in. We'll get this cube up and running. Then we'll go back, have a look at cubes 5 and 6, and that's when I want to bring you up to speed as to all the factories I've got going on, because as you can see, I'm building factories everywhere. And at the same time, kind of give you a heads up on the oxygen issue I'm having with cube 3. I know. Yeah, it's a story. So with that, I'll bring it back as soon as we're ready to talk about 5 and 6, and then I'm going to give you the whole full background on everything going on. Okay, so the crisis is averted, and so we got people coming in. They're moving in now. In fact, these houses and just this little group of houses already gotten to level 4. Of course, they're going to want some home robots, and they're going to want some VR education at some point. Now, at the end of the episode, we're going to go down and have a look at all them new factories. But but they are all hooked into this highway, so they are good to go. And so we might as well get them down there, right? We might as well make sure that these guys can get on the off ramp and do the things they got to do. So we want to do this and then get these guys down here to the bottom and hook them in. And in fact, it turns out that should be everything I need. I shouldn't actually need any more. You guys can all go this way, and same with you guys. Yeah, you guys. In fact, I want you all to turn in here. I don't want you guys using that second lane at all. There we go, something like that. And of course, we can just take these two out, and not a big deal. And I can always use a little bit of concrete and steel. I actually ran out of concrete, which I haven't done in quite some time. But I mean, it does happen. It does happen when you're building a lot of stuff. As you can see, here come the home robots. I got to put in some fine foods for these fine people, so they'll keep upgrading for me. And then we come back. We're going to do cubes 5 and 6, and at the same time, look at all the great stuff towards the end. So just hold on. So before we hook in the other 2 cubes that we want to get done here today, I want to talk about cube number 3. Now, I don't know what's happened. Cubes 1 and 2 are perfectly fine with their oxygen. And as you can see here, I have 4 oxygen tanks on standby holding extra oxygen at any time. But cube 3 you'll notice a slight difference. There's a lot more O2 factories over here in Cube 3, and that's because even though it's the same city, right, as Cubes 1 and 2, it drastically runs out of oxygen a lot faster, like a lot faster, and I don't know why. I've looked at numbers, they're both 0.8s, they're like all the difference, but Cube 3 had a really hard time keeping up with oxygen. And I mean, I literally had to double the oxygen type number just to keep it up, keep it going. Now, since then, Cube 4 and now 5 and 6 will also, I've gone back to 5 and 6 being like 1 and 2. We'll see how that goes, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. I'm ready to put more in at a moment's notice. I can just plop it in, and it's fine. Now, and that's okay. Now, what we got going on here is, just to make it easier for me to do future cubes, I've also made out Cube 7 so as I can do Cube 8, 9, 10 and just keep looking to the left, right? So it's a lot easier when you can just look to the left at an empty cube to say, oh, okay, I can do that, and then it takes you less than 5 minutes. When you have to keep going up here to compare in a full cube and mirror it, it takes longer. It can actually slow you down by 10, 15 minutes. So it's easier when the cube's empty with no housing in it. Now, before we get started, of course, we're going to have a look at our extra factories. So, to do all these wonderful factories, we have 3 new VR education centers over here, squeezed into this nice little L shape. Looks really good. Of course, we have additional home appliances and computers in the back, as you can see, and we still have room for more. In fact, what I'd like to do is I'd like to try and probably get a VR education in here and a VR education up here, and start moving some home appliance stuff into the back of here. And the reason is, of course, is that we'll be into this third row here shortly, and dragging stuff out of the back here into the third row will get a little hard. Moving over here, of course, we already have seen Factory 4 for the 4th cube of VR education. Now, when I go to do number 5, I'm actually going to pare it back, right? So remember, these were built with water issues in mind. So we are way over, and I mean we are way over on nanotubes. You should only need half the amount of nanotubes here, right? But because of the water issues in the early days, this size is much bigger. So what I'm hoping to do is now, once again, we will use the 5th cube and one of the brand new VR centers to try and rebalance that with the water somewhat corrected, I guess is what we'll do. Of course, we have more robot factories. I didn't want to cover up all this sulfur. Of course, I'm going to need a lot more. I need more sulfur for all the farming that we're going to do in all these cubes. So I have got it designed so as we could take advantage of these sulfur areas with miners when it comes down to that. And as you can see here, we're already using this one over here. And so we can get a couple more drills in there before we're done with this one. And then, of course, we can get like a dozen drills down here. And we can get probably 4 or 5 up there as well. And that should be more than enough. So this robots factory is a little bit quirky being on its side. It's got its proper top, but then it kind of does a sideways thing. That'll be interesting to see. And, of course, some more beside that. Now, again, they get their own highway. Both VR Education and these are getting their own highway for the next row of cubes. So that is what you're going to see here. So, of course, we have the mega highways doing mega things. Oh, yeah, this amazing setup, I'll tell you. We got VR coming from down there. We got 2 lines of robots. 2 lines of VR education. Of course, we have sulfur coming in for all of this, right? Because I couldn't use this sulfur here anymore. Now, I am going to try here on Cube 5 to not cover this little patch in case I need to grab some sulfur somehow really fast and add it to the cycle. But I'm not going to depend on this sulfur. So we have a sulfur road, dedicated sulfur road for all that sulfur I just showed you. And and because almost all the purple goo is over here on this mountaintop, I mean, there's a lot of purple goo here, right? It's here, it's back here, it's over here. Like a lot of purple goo is in this small area. We need a dedicated highway for that. So, of course, we now have a dedicated highway doing just purple goo for VR education, which drives it all the way down here to these VR factories that are on the other end of the map. So, of course, that way they can drop off and they get their purple goo because there's none down here. None of that is down here. You're not going to find that down here anywhere. So with that, I am now going to hook this highway up here. I got to hook this highway in number 6. So as it can load up the sulfur and get ready to go. As you can see, we have landing strip here. We'll put a landing strip over here. They will share this power plant between the two of them. 2 cubes tend to share a power plant. It's not quite enough to keep it going all the time, but it's not bad either, right? So it's actually pretty good. So we're going to do that and keep that going, and I'm going to get cubes 5 and 6 fired up, bring you back for the finale part of this episode. We'll have a look at the totals of population, all the things, and I will see you guys in a sec. So at 15,914 civilians, we have 2 more cubes, you betcha. And let's take a quick look around at a few items before we talk about what we're doing in the next episode. Now, in this case, we did have a few issues. One of the issues was I had forgotten to hook in one of the home appliance / computer factories. So when Cube 6 was coming online, Cube 5 suddenly decided, hey, I'm short on computers now and home appliances. So I had to quickly resolve that issue, and that took a little time. Then VR was the next issue. Now, obviously, we have VR that's going to supply the left side. Well, okay, let's talk about it this way. The VR on the left on the hill supplies the top row. The VR on the right supplies the bottom row. And to do that, of course, we have 2 highways. We have the highway on the top coming from the left, which supplies the 4 on the top. And we have the highway on the bottom coming from the right, which will supply the ones below. The issue was that when I had put in the highways here, I had accidentally left 2 of these highways with allowable right-hand turns on this right side to bottom lane. And what that meant was that these 3 factories here were supplying these 3 cubes on top along with the 2 cubes on the bottom. But my 4 factories up on the hill thought, oh, okay, since these guys on the right are supplying my cities on top, we'll just sit here, because they did not have permission to turn to the bottom row. And what was happening is suddenly Cube 5 was starting to run short on VR education, and it was like, why are you running short? So I brought the 3rd factory online, which I shouldn't have not had to do. I mean, one of these factories should supply 1 cube, and it still wasn't enough. And I was like, what's going on? And what was going on was that these cubes and these cubes were feeding off of these just 3 machines. The ones up on the hill were like, we're taking a break. And they did. They totally filled up and then just sat there. And poor old cube number 5 was like, I can't get nothing. I'm broke. I'm busted. So we have fixed the highways problems on that, and now 5 and 6 are looking really good. Of course, you just would have seen a quick scene of the highways in action just before I started this video. And I must admit, they are really cool to watch. And they should be really, really cool to watch here when I bring on the next 3 sets of cubes, as this highway will be totally busy, going in both directions all the time. Just the amount of traffic on it is actually really cool to watch. And yes, all of these cross beams work just fine. They're working just fine. No problems there. So what are we doing on the next one? Well, the next one is a live stream. That's right. Early next week will be the next one. And, of course, it will be live stream. Now, during that live stream, of course, will be what is I'm basically calling it the factory build. We will be building multiple factories of robots. Try to get a couple more maybe VR education lines in. We definitely need more of the computer slash home appliance combiners in. And at the same time, we do have 3 things left on the FTL plus the telescope. So it would be nice to try and get these finished up. So what we need here, of course, is we need a bunch of science to get this telescope done. And for the FTL drives, well, we need a bunch of gas. And, of course, to get that bunch of gas, turns out we're going to need, some methane mining. Turns out I got some methane around, and I'm not really using it for anything at the moment. So we'll crank up the methane, get a couple of factories of that up and running, and start pumping it into these, along with a little bit of uranium alloy and a little bit of that radiation core stuff, right? Because this is just sitting here at the moment, and I'd like to get that spaceship finished up and running. I did have to add more nuclear, by the way. We've got nuclear plants running, 22 of them now. And so our power is now at 15 and change. And, of course, we'll talk, during the live stream, I'll talk about my methane generators and about a little bit of discovery with them. So with that, wow, another crazy episode of building. More building to do. By the time the live stream, I would expect to get some more squares in here, prepped up, ready to go. And of course, I'll be templating this. Now that I have like 6,000 extra population, I'll be easily able to prep out more squares with their hydrogen and oxygen and all the wonderful stuff. But with that, I'm Max. This is InfraSpace Cubed. You betcha. Where we're going to put down a bunch of these cubes and we're just going to keep pushing this population as hard as we can. So I'm going to see everybody on the live stream, hopefully, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.